स्वागत है आपका।
Namaskar, Hari Om.
हरिओम।
हरिओम हरिओम हरिओम।
There are several psychological, spiritual management techniques which are prevalent in the world. Management and then psychology, mostly which is emanating from in the form of a theoretical framework from the West. And they have provided several motivational theories, several leadership theories, several successful, to-do kind of manuals and lifestyle books, life balance, all that. So, which is part of my research work also. My PhD is about work-life balance, one of the PhD. So I have examined even during the study also during my PhD days also several theories which are coming from psychological management theories from the West, because we have to cover, because I was doing PhD in management, not on philosophy, and hence though it is about karma yoga and then work life balance, so I had to take into consideration the literature review and then the kind of literature and the work that is already done in that area. And there were several techniques, tools, which were provided from time to time by various scientists in terms of human behavior and human resource development. So, for the benefit of the people to manage work as well as the self. But by examining, I came across, because of the orientation that I already had, fortunately, in the household about Bhagawadgita, this particular chapter 16, khas karke, the first three verses of the chapter 16 have given me a tremendous direction and provided me with the required holistic and comprehensive techniques, much better than what any theory or any technique or tool that is provided ever in the body of the management literature. So, without getting into actual shlokas, because today's episode is about the introduction, uh, if we look at it, the set of techniques which are provided in chapter 16, and starting from the name of the chapter itself. If you look at it, Lord has provided those tools, techniques, both as do's and then the don'ts. It is not just enough if we provide the do's, because people that may give enough motivation for people to follow, but unless we give the deterrent and the consequence of not following, when we say that, you will have to follow the traffic rules, people may follow, may not follow. But if you say that, if you violate a particular traffic rule, this is the punishment which is there, and that is a don't. Don't jump the signal, don't park at a wrong place, and some of these things. Unless there is a deterrent, the tendency of the people to follow will not become complete. And hence it looks like God has given both the do's as well as the don'ts in the form of Daiva, Asura, Sampat, Vibhaga. And that is the division that he made. And the beauty of this chapter is he is just not called them as the techniques or the tools or sadhanae nahi bataya gaya. He said sampada. Sampada is a property. And the property is something which is a longer term possession, and then you revel in it, and it will come to your rescue, and then it is something which you will have it with yourself and then utilize it and then be proud about it, and which will help you in a longer term. And that is why it is called Sampada. Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. That's what is the chapter 16, and it's such a sweet 16 when we say, when it comes to 16. And 16 has got a special significance because Shodasha Kala has got special significance in the Sanatana Dharma. Shodasha Kala Purusha, because we just finished Purushottama Yoga. And the Purushottama is supposed to be possessing all the 16 qualities, the divine qualities, Shodasha Kalas. Shodasha Kala Paripurna is Lord Krishna. And in that sense, the 16th chapter also is there. And the first shloka itself, God has provided 9 such divine qualities. And he mentioned, like in chapter 9 also, in then verse 12, 13, he's already given us the introduction and then parichay karaya hai about the Daivi Prakriti as well as the Asuri Prakriti. Ashuhu Ramanti iti Asuraha. Asuras are different, and we have discussed earlier that than the Danavas, Daityas, and Rakshasas. We have several gradations in the negative demonic and Asuras are the hedonistic people, and then Asuhu Ramanti, and they believe in instant gratification, and they don't focus on they miss the big picture, and they indulge in all worldly materialistic pleasures and temporal and temporary things, and spend their or waste their lives. Whereas divine qualified people, the Daivi Sampada, जिसके पास होता है, and they are the people who tend to become, because if you look at it, the process, because we are moving from a Purushottama Prapti Yoga, Purushottama Yoga to this Daiva Sampada Vibhaga Yoga. So first of all, these set of qualities are so succinctly, comprehensively provided by understanding, by applying them in our day-to-day lives also, we can become better human beings, better life we can lead. So from a normal man, Purusha ka matlab we have already discussed, it is like a mankind, it is a representative of the man as well as the woman. So it's not to be confused and then get into unnecessary controversy by some feministic kind of an ideology about Purusha means male or anything. It's a man, basically mankind. When we say that includes the whole thing. So from a Purusha to we become Uttama Purusha. So a better human being we will become. From Uttama Purusha to a Divya Purusha. So it will become a divine human being. And from it, by getting the divine qualities, by inculcating, because at the end of the day, we are what we repeatedly do, and excellence is never an accident but a habit. That's what Aristotle said some time back, and which is also extremely well quoted in the management literature. We are what we repeatedly do. So everything becomes a habit. Once we keep on repeating the same thing, that reflects in our behavior consciously and unconsciously, that becomes part of our persona and then the personality. The entire Western focus on the human resource development area is about managing ourselves, is about the personality ethic. There is something called personality. And Stephen Covey has highlighted them in his 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People about personality ethic as well as the character ethic. The other one is the character ethic. One is the personality ethic, the other is the character ethic. The entire focus of the Western management literature is on developing a great personality, and hence we find, especially in my area of HRD, where I have practiced for 33 years in the corporate, our focus and then training has been on the personality development and personality development skills and program and training and recruitment and those qualities we look for in people while recruiting, what kind of a very pleasing and positive personality one has. But unfortunately, the focus has never been on the character ethic. So if money is the most motivating thing, and then everybody is after money, and then entire management and our pursuit of occupations are about money. But whereas money, if it is lost, only a little is lost. The second most important thing, in fact, it is the first, is the health. Because repeatedly, especially people who are 50 plus, their focus has been health. So nowadays, because when we earn a lot of money, we have no time. And when we have a lot of money and then, we have no health, there is a lot of time for people who are retired and then relaxed and rich and famous, but they don't have time these days. And people are also not around, and they are leading very lonely kind of lives. We are seeing that. So in that context, what comes to our rescue is the overall holistic development, and not only the social and then the materialistic excellence, but also the spiritual anchorage and the Adhyatmika Shakti, जिसके पास होता है, the meditative skill, the yogic sadhana, and then the practice, they will be leading very peaceful and Shantivan करने में सफल हो रहे हैं. So, and hence these qualities which are beautifully mentioned in this particular chapter could come to rescue and then as a manual and handy in understanding and then development. We will examine each one of them in the coming episodes. But for now, how do these qualities come? How the divine and then the demonic qualities come to human beings? How do we inherit or how carry our forward? Because we have understood in last 15 chapters that it is all because of the permutation, combination, subdivision and distribution of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. And they are also connected to our karmas and then the vasanas, like other panelists, and then all of us have shared earlier, and we have that knowledge having spent 15 episodes. So that gets carried forward, and we are what we repeatedly do. So in our previous jarmas also, whatever we have done, that phala, agami, sanchita and prarabdha gets carried forward like a bank account, and jaisa jitna tum, as you sow, you reap. So that kind of a balance only will get distributed, and the role of the Lord is only to be a witness as it is gets distributed across different births. So that is the main foundation principle of the Sanatana Dharma. So then, while that is so, that Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Gunas and their interplay, the special chabbis, as I was calling it, these 26 qualities, each one of them I have made it into a module, a training module, and half a day workshop I used to conduct, and then it used to run into several months, and then this has got a special liking and significance to me personally to delve and then deliberate and then talk about it in the next. I am personally very excited as a practicing HR professional and also a student of Bhagawadgita with this. And from Purusha to Uttama Purusha to Divya Purusha to Purushottama and to God Himself, by inculcating the divine qualities, we are what we repeatedly do. So Brahmavit Brahmayubhavati, that's what we said. So by constantly practicing and Sthita, that's what he says as the third quality, Jnana, Vyavasthita in the first shloka, and the third quality that he talks about, which we will cover in the next episode, is to stay and then sustain in that particular stance. Of course, it starts with Abhayam, and then how is it important? Abhaya, he says that fearlessness. Because what does a God provide? Any God, if you look at it, the posture of any God is something like this. So we look at it like this. Eto Abhayahasta, this one, and this is Varadahasta. This is how in India the statues are shown. This is the Abhayam. So what would we look for from a idol, to worship, or from the form of a God, the Saguna Rupa of a God, because it is very easy to keep it in our mind to worship and then to follow and meditate upon. Of course, those people who have practiced and then attained another next level can get into Nirguna Upasana and things like that through yogic practices. But for beginners and then the middle path people, so this is the Abhayam. What we look from the God is the fearlessness. I am there, why you fear? That kind of attribute, अभी भगवान की कृपा से, भगवान की दया से, अभी भगवान ने इतना ही दिया मेरे को, अभी क्या करने का, so that your stress level becomes very less, and then you tend to lead a very peaceful, stress-free, peaceful life. Because stress is the main cause. And what are we afraid of generally? So dhana, prana, these are the three things. And just introduction, giving the first three qualities which are mentioned in the verse first. So that introduction we can elaborate in the days to come. So dhana, prana, mana, prana hani. If there is a threat to the life, we are afraid. So we are fearful about the prana, and for that is most important. Then dhana, we have got possessing a lot of property, and then the money अगर कोई आके छीन लेगा या चोरी करेगा, इसके वास्ते हमको डर लगता है. So bhaya, so that is there. Dhana, Prana, and Mana. Agar, because in order to maintain your either a hypocritical facade of your own position that you may be or you may not be or you want to be. तो दिस इज द प्रयास, यही प्रयास रहता है हमारा. अगर हम कुछ हासिल कर लेते हैं तो उसको एडवर्टाइजमेंट देके कितना हम लोग महान हैं, बड़े हैं, ये सब बात करते रहते हैं. देन और हमारा प्रयास यही रहता है. अगर हम वो नहीं है तो भी ये ज्यादा प्रयास रहता है कि जो हम नहीं है वो पाने के लिए एंड वी प्रोजेक्ट आवरसेल्व्स एंड देन we give that kind of a hypocritical facade. So that is also there. And if there is a threat from, so most of the things are related to others, other than us. So the fear is always from others. So the fear is never from within ourselves and from our own self. Even if it is true that we may spoil our own chances and then we may spoil our own life because of our deeds, but we don't tend to accept. We attribute, we blame. Even God also. अभी क्या करेगा, Saturn, मेरा Saturn अच्छा नहीं, शनि अच्छा नहीं चल रहा, ये साला इन्होंने पूरा खराब करके रखा है मेरा शनि ने, ऐसा करके we tend to attribute. Even if in that kind of a false attribute on the God also, we tend to be happy and then at least stress free, because उसके ऊपर डाल दिया ना, तो फिर तो मेरा कोई कसूर नहीं है. I am okay, you are not okay. So that's why we find a bahana and a conduit. We find and then उसके ऊपर डालेंगे तो भरोसा राम भरोसे बोलते रहते हैं. ये चल रहा है, राम भरोसा चल रहा है, भगवान भरोसा चल रहा है, like that we keep saying. Even for that also our Sanatan Dharma has given a very peaceful and a practical kind of a thing, and hence it becomes important and it is only available in Sanatan Dharma, this kind of elaborate. If you look at Bhagavad Puran also, and Narada also talks about another set of super 30, I would like to call them, I used to call them, another 30 qualities which were given enumerated in Bhagavad Puran also, in 30 such qualities. So here it is 26. So these 26 qualities, I'm sure we will elaborate with the expert panelists, both in philosophical as well as the practical aspects of it, and applicability and how best we can utilize in the days to come. So मेरा विनती यही है कि आने वाले 3-4 एपिसोड उपाख्यान को ध्यान से आप फॉलो करें, वीक्षक, और इनका लाभ उठाएं. और हमें भी ये मौका मिला है शर्मा जी की वजह से, वार्टिक टीवी की वजह से. लेट अस ऑल रेवेल इन इट एंड enjoy, and I'll give the next episode the anecdotes and the short stories as usual for the first 3 qualities and so on, and there are 9 qualities in the first verse. Thank you very much.